I freeze halfway to the counter, breath caught mid-step. Because there, by the window of that quiet Italian place on 7th, sits my wife. My wife and her sister, laughing, smiling, with a man I've never seen before. For a second, the world tilts sideways. The low jazz hum in the restaurant blurs. The clinking of glasses and the murmur of diners fade, replaced by the rush of my own heartbeat, roaring in my ears like distant thunder. I blink, thinking maybe I've made a mistake, but no, that's definitely her. Lena. Her hair swept back in that loose knot she wears when she's relaxed. Her fingers, those small, graceful fingers, are wrapped around a glass of red wine. Her eyes shine under the warm light, the same eyes that told me she was working late tonight. And beside her, Claire, her sister, leans in close to the man across from them. They look familiar, comfortable, as if they've known each other forever. My stomach twists. I feel ridiculous standing there with takeout menus in my hand, staring like a fool through the glass. I should leave, walk away. But my body doesn't listen. My hand slips into my pocket instead, fingers brushing my phone. The urge hits me before I can reason it away. I hit record. It's not the kind of thing I do, snooping, spying, but something about their body language feels wrong. Too soft, too intimate. Lena tilts her head back and laughs, her hand grazing the man's arm. My jaw tightens. I try to convince myself it's nothing, that I'm overreacting, but the knot in my chest tightens with every second. They toast. Their glasses clink softly. The man, tall, silver-haired, dressed in a gray coat, says something that makes both women smile wistfully. Claire reaches for his hand, and in that tiny, wordless gesture, my world starts to crack. Who is he? I stay hidden by the bar, pretending to study the chalkboard menu. My pulse is erratic. The air smells like basil and charred bread, but I barely taste it. I zoom in a little, catching fragments of laughter on video. Lena's eyes glisten, and for a moment, she looks happy. Really happy. Happier than she's been in months. The thought slices deep. When I finally step outside, the evening air is cold against my skin. The neon sign buzzes faintly overhead, throwing streaks of red across the sidewalk. My reflection in the glass looks like a stranger. Jaw set, eyes shadowed. I pocket my phone and start walking, but every step feels heavier. My mind replays that image. Lena's hand on another man's arm, like a cursed loop. By the time I get home, the video feels like a live wire in my pocket. I sit in the car for a while, engine off, the silence pressing down. Should I confront her? Ask who he is? My heart says yes, my fear says wait. Something inside me whispers that there's more to this, something I'm not seeing. I pour myself a drink, sink into the couch, and play the video again. The laughter sounds softer now. Almost sad. There's something in their faces I didn't notice before. Nostalgia. Recognition. A kind of longing that doesn't fit an affair. It feels older, heavier, like grief in disguise. Still, doubt claws at me. I decide I need another perspective. Someone who knows them better. When Lena gets home, I don't say a word. She looks tired but calm. Her kiss lands light on my cheek, routine. She asks, "How was your evening?" "Quiet," I lie. "You?" She smiles faintly. "Busy, paperwork, you know." I nod, forcing my features still, but inside my chest is a storm. Later that night, after she's asleep, I slip out of bed and head to the kitchen. The clock on the stove blinks 1:13 a.m. I take my phone and scroll through my contacts until I find her mother's name, Martha. My thumb hovers over it. She deserves to know if her daughters are tangled in something, and maybe she can tell me who that man is. The next morning I drive to her house with the video queued up and my heart hammering like I'm carrying dynamite. Martha greets me in her robe, her gray hair pinned up. "Ethan, is everything all right?" "I just need your eyes on something," I say, voice low. We sit at her kitchen table, sunlight filtering through lace curtains. The smell of coffee fills the room. I set my phone down and press play. She watches in silence, her hand trembling slightly around her cup. Then, halfway through, her breath catches. "Dear God," she whispers. Her eyes widen, glassy and stunned. My pulse spikes. "You know him?" Her lips part, trembling. That's impossible." She leans closer, squinting. "Ethan, that man, that's their father." I blink, not understanding. Their what?" She looks at me, her voice breaking. "Their father disappeared 20 years ago." The words hit like a blow. My mouth goes dry. I stare at the frozen image on the screen, the man's gentle smile, the sister's teary eyes, and suddenly, the entire night replays with new meaning. The laughter, the touch, the sadness behind it all. My mind races with questions. If that's true, why didn't Lena tell me? Why meet him in secret? Why now after 2 decades? Martha's hand grips mine, her eyes wet. "Ethan, where was this taken?" "Bistro La Luna. Last night." She exhales shakily. "Then he's back." And just like that, everything I thought I knew about betrayal, about trust, fractures into something stranger, something deeper. Outside, morning light spills through the window, warm and blinding. Inside, the truth begins to thaw the frost around my heart. But it also leaves behind a single, haunting question I can't shake. Why did she keep it from me? The next morning feels like a dream I can't wake from. One of those strange, heavy ones where everything looks real but sounds muffled. I sit at the kitchen table, my coffee untouched, watching Lena move through the morning light. She hums softly, hair damp from the shower, slipping into her scrubs like any other day. She doesn't notice how I'm staring, how hard I'm trying to see her as the same woman I kissed goodbye yesterday. But she's not the same. Or maybe it's me who's changed. When she bends to tie her shoes, the gold chain around her neck glints, the one her father gave her before he left. I used to think it was a family heirloom, a sad memento. Now, I wonder if it was a clue all along. "Long shift today?" I ask, voice casual. She glances up. "Yeah, doubles. We're short-staffed again." I nod, pretending to sip. "You looked tired last night." She freezes just for a heartbeat. Then that soft, well-practiced smile. "Paperwork will do that." There it is again. That careful half-truth. The kind that sounds safe but hides something sharp underneath. She kisses my cheek, warm and fleeting. "See you tonight, okay?" The door closes behind her, and the silence that follows feels thick, heavy with things unsaid. I should trust her. I want to. But the image of her with that man won't fade. Her laughter, the tears in her eyes. Martha's trembling voice, "That's their father." If he's really back, why didn't she tell me? Why meet him like that, in secret? I grab my jacket and keys. There's only one way to find out. Bistro La Luna looks different in daylight. More ordinary. The waiter recognizes me from last night, probably thinking I'm just another lovesick fool retracing his steps. I ask about the man. Tall, gray hair, gray coat. Was here last night with 2 women? The waiter nods slowly. Yeah, they come in sometimes. The older guy pays in cash. Sometimes? I echo. My chest tightens. You've seen them before? He shrugs. Couple times this month, maybe. They keep to themselves. I leave a tip, thank him, and step outside. The morning wind bites through my shirt. A couple times this month. So this isn't new. This secret meeting, it's been happening behind my back for weeks. But something else digs under my skin. If this man is truly her father, then that means Lean has been carrying the weight of a ghost I never even knew existed. By evening, I'm restless. She texts around 7. Running late, don't wait up for dinner. My thumb hovers over the screen, every muscle in my hand tight. Where are you? But I don't send it. Not yet. Instead, I drive. I don't even know where I'm going until the headlights catch the shimmer of the lake, the one near her sister's place, the one she used to visit on family days. I park in the shadows and kill the engine. The sky bleeds gold and violet across the water. And there she is. Lena. Standing on the dock, her hair loose, the wind tangling it around her face. Claire stands beside her, and that man, the same gray coat, the same quiet dignity, leans on the railing, his hand brushing Lena's shoulder gently. My chest aches watching them. There's love in that gesture, familiarity, regret. I stay in the car, phone ready, but I can't bring myself to hit record this time. I just watch, pulse pounding in my ears, until Lena suddenly turns. Her eyes flicker toward the road like she can feel me watching. For a second, our gazes lock across the distance, though she can't possibly see me through the dark. Still, I swear she knows. She says something to Claire and the man, then starts walking toward her car. Panic spikes through me. If she sees me, everything changes. But instead of confronting her, I turn the key, drive away, headlights off until I'm far enough not to be seen. My palms are slick on the wheel, my mind a storm. I barely sleep that night. When Lena slips into bed hours later, I pretend to be half asleep. Her hand rests on my chest for a moment, a gesture so tender it hurts. Then she whispers, almost to herself, "I'm sorry." The words cut through the dark like a knife. I want to ask what for, but I keep still, every muscle locked. The next morning, she's gone before dawn. I call Martha again. He's been meeting them for weeks, at the lake, too. There's a long silence on the line, then a soft sigh. If it's really him, there must be a reason. He wouldn't just appear after 20 years. Do you know why he left? Her voice wavers. All I know is he disappeared one night after an argument. We thought he was dead. I press. An argument about what? Money. A debt. Something he wouldn't talk about. My pulse quickens. So, he's been hiding all this time. Maybe, she says quietly. Or maybe someone made him hide. Something in her tone makes my skin prickle. That evening, Lena comes home early for once. She looks different, like she's carrying a weight she's finally ready to put down. She stands in the doorway, hesitant, then says softly, "Ethan, can we talk?" I nod, heart pounding. Of course. She steps closer. The air between us hums, charged with something fragile. She says, "You've been distant." And I get it. I haven't been myself lately. There's something I need to tell you, but I don't know where to start. I swallow hard. Then start with the truth. Her eyes flicker. Fear, guilt, longing all tangled together. She opens her mouth, but before a single word comes out, her phone buzzes. She looks down at the screen, face draining of color. "Who is it?" I ask. She hesitates. voice barely a whisper. It's him. Her hand trembles as she answers, and the look in her eyes when she says the next words chills me to the bone. He says he's in danger. The phone call ends, and silence floods the room. It's heavier than any words could be. Lena sits across from me, hands twisting in her lap, eyes downcast. The faint scent of her shampoo lingers in the air, comforting and maddening at the same time. My heart is a drum, thudding so loudly I'm sure she can hear it. "Ethan," she begins, voice trembling, "I didn't tell you because I didn't want to drag you into this. I thought I could manage it on my own." I lean forward, restless. Manage what? My voice is rougher than I intended. "Lena, that man, your father, he's been missing for 20 years. I see you with him, laughing, touching him, and you never said a word to me? Do you have any idea what that feels like?" Her eyes lift, glistening. "I know, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I wasn't ready." Her words catch me off guard, like she's stepping closer, pulling the air with her. My chest tightens with a strange mix of frustration and longing. I want to shake her, demand answers, but I also want to reach across the table and brush my fingers through her hair, feel the warmth of her skin. I want her. I want her confessions, her vulnerabilities, her truths. I stand abruptly, pacing. The wood floors creak beneath my steps. "Not ready?" I echo, voice shaking. "Do you know how long I've waited to trust you completely? And now you're hiding pieces of your past from me?" She rises too, closing the distance between us. The air hums, charged and tense. She's smaller than me, but there's a quiet strength in her stance. "I was scared, Ethan. Scared that if I told you it would change everything between us. I didn't want to lose you while trying to find him." I swallow hard, the words settling in. Her fear, her longing, it's raw and undeniable. I can feel it in the supple quiver of her lips, in the way her hands hover near mine but don't quite touch. The tension between us is electric, a current I can no longer ignore. I reach out slowly, brushing a stray lock of hair behind her ear. She closes her eyes at my touch, a sigh escaping her lips. The contact is intimate, hesitant, but it breaks something inside me that's been taut with suspicion and doubt. "I should have known," I whisper, leaning closer. "I should have trusted you, always." Her eyes meet mine, glistening. "Ethan," she breathes, a mix of fear and relief. "I was hoping you'd understand, that you'd see me." I don't hesitate. My hand slides from her cheek to her neck, feeling the pulse beneath her skin. Her breath catches, shallow and uneven. The room shrinks until it's just us, just the heat of our bodies, the rush of emotions, the silent confessions we've been too afraid to voice. Slowly, impossibly, she leans into me. Our lips meet tentative at first, testing the boundaries of trust and desire. It's gentle, lingering, a confession in itself. The kiss deepens, slow and deliberate, a blend of relief, longing, and the ache of all the unspoken words. We break apart for a breath, foreheads still pressed together. She swallows hard, eyes shimmering. "There's more," she admits, voice barely above a whisper. He's in danger. That's why we met him secretly. I couldn't tell you everything. Not yet." My pulse spikes again, not with jealousy or fear this time, but with a protective, urgent need to understand, to shield her from the unknown. "Then we'll face it together," I say firmly. "No more secrets, Lena. No more shadows between us." Her gaze softens, but the tension in her shoulders tells me the storm isn't over. She nods slowly. "Together." A long pause stretches, the silence filled with anticipation. I take her hand, feeling the warmth of her skin, the subtle tremor of vulnerability. The closeness is intoxicating, almost suffocating, but it feels right, necessary. I lean in again, lips brushing her temple. I don't care about the past. I only care about now, about you, about us. Her breath hitches. Her hand squeezes mine, grounding me in the present. Now, us, she repeats. A promise, a prayer, a confession all at once. We stand there, hearts beating in synchrony, the weight of secrets, fear and longing suspended between us. Outside, the city hums and moves on, oblivious to the quiet intensity inside this room. Then her phone buzzes again, a sharp intrusion. She glances at it, eyes wide. "It's him," she whispers. He needs me." I feel the tension spike again, the fragile bubble of trust and confession threatened. But this time, I'm not stepping back. I take her face in my hands, gaze locked. "We face it together," I repeat, voice steady. Her lips brush mine in a fleeting, fierce kiss, a declaration, a reassurance, a quiet surrender. And just like that, everything changes. For the first time in days, I feel the threads of fear, longing, and trust weaving into something unbreakable, though the storm outside is far from over. The morning light streams through the blinds, sharp and accusing. I can feel it on my skin, but I barely notice. Lena's beside me, asleep for now, but the tension in the room from last night hasn't left. The secret, their father. The mystery, it's a weight pressing on my chest, yet I can't stop thinking about the soft curve of her neck, the way she fits against me as if she's always belonged there. But then reality intrudes, like a cold wind. He's out there, her father, missing for 20 years, and she's been meeting him in secret, fearing for his safety. Every instinct in me screams, protect her, understand him, untangle the past. But every heartbeat also whispers, betrayal, confusion, and the impossible knot of emotions I can't yet unravel. We drive in silence, the hum of the tires against asphalt filling the spaces where words should be. Lena glances at me now and then, eyes soft, apologetic, bracing herself for my questions. I want answers, but I also want her calm, her trust. I want to touch her, hold her hand, and tell her nothing could make me leave her side. We reach the lake first, the place she and Claire have met him before. The water gleams under the morning sun, ripples catching gold light like fire. And there he is, older, silver hair catching the wind, hands trembling slightly as he leans on the railing. His gaze is distant, haunted, but there's a gentleness in it I didn't expect. Lena steps toward him cautiously. "Dad," she whispers. The sound cracks something deep in me. It's not just her, it's Claire too, leaning forward, voice trembling. And I stand behind them, part of the scene, yet separate, a spectator to a reunion 20 years overdue. The man turns. Gray eyes sweep over the girls, and then he sees me. His gaze lingers for a moment too long, assessing, questioning. There's a flash of recognition, and something unspoken passes between us. I step forward, but Lena places a hand on my arm, stilling me. "He's in danger," she says. "He needs us to be careful." I nod, though I don't understand the danger yet. It pulses in the air like static, tense and foreboding. But another current flows stronger, a surge of protectiveness, of longing, of unspoken desire toward Lena. I reach for her hand, squeezing lightly. She glances at me, a mixture of reassurance and apology, then turns back to her father. "Dad, you can't just show up. 20 years, we thought—" He interrupts, softly, voice trembling. "I had no choice. I tried to come back sooner, but—" His words falter, shadows of the past twisting them. Someone wanted me gone. I had to hide. I step closer now, my presence unspoken but undeniable. The moment is tense, fragile. Lena's eyes flicker toward me. There's fear there, yes, but also a raw vulnerability, a need to lean into the only person who can anchor her. I clear my throat. Who? Who's after you? My voice is calm, but my chest burns with urgency. He glances at me, hesitates, and then, almost reluctantly, whispers a name. My heart lurches, not from recognition of the name, but from the implications. The threat to Lena, to her sister, to everything we've built. Suddenly, the world feels smaller, tighter. Danger is here, and there's no denying it. Yet, amid the fear, the intensity between Lena and I sharpens, impossible to ignore. Every glance, every brush of her hand against mine ignites something I can't suppress. I take her face in my hands, tilting her head gently. Look at me, I demand softly. She obeys, eyes wide, shimmering with trust and need. I lean in, brushing my lips against hers briefly, just enough to let her know she's not alone. Ethan, she whispers. The sound is heavy, trembling. I was so scared you'd... I interrupt gently. Never mind what you were scared of. We're here now, together. That's what matters. We stand in silence, the wind off the lake tangling our hair, tugging at the edges of clothes, carrying with it a promise of danger and a promise of connection. The world outside this dock, the threat, the past, the father, is pressing in, but I feel a strange, desperate clarity. Lena and I, tangled in each other, anchored against the storm, ready to face whatever comes next. Then he falters, stumbling slightly. Lena rushes forward, hands on his arms. I step closer too, a hand at her back, the other near my belt where I can keep alert. The tension is unbearable. Fear, trust, longing, and rage mingle in the air like a storm about to break. I can't, he whispers. I can't do this without... He trails off, glancing at Lena, then at me, and finally at the space around us. Her fingers grip mine tightly, grounding me. I feel her heartbeat against my own, wild and rapid. It's intoxicating, terrifying, and necessary all at once. I lean down, voice low, steady. Then we'll do it together. You, him, me, all of us. No one stands alone. She presses her head against my chest, trembling. I wrap an arm around her, holding her close, feeling every quiver of vulnerability and trust. My lips brush the top of her head, a silent vow. I won't let anything break us. The lake stretches endlessly in front of us, the wind carrying whispered threats and promises alike. The storm is coming, but for the first time, I feel like we're ready. The tension from the past days boils over the moment we step into the dimly lit cafe where he said to meet. Lena clings to my arm, fingers tight, knuckles white. Her father sits at a corner table, coat draped over the chair, eyes darting nervously. There's a thin sheen of sweat on his forehead, and the weight of the years gone by has settled in the lines of his face. Ethan, Lena whispers, her voice trembling. Please, just stay calm. I squeeze her hand. I'm calm, I lie, though my body screams alert, ready for anything. He stands as we approach, hands raised slightly. I didn't know who else to trust, he murmurs, voice breaking. But now, I have to tell you everything. The truth about why I left, about the danger that's still after me. Lena and I exchange a glance. I can see the pain in her eyes. Years of unanswered questions, heartbreak and longing, mingled with fear. We're listening, I say quietly, settling into the chair beside her. He inhales sharply, eyes flicking around as if expecting someone to appear from the shadows. 20 years ago, I got involved with the wrong people. Debt collectors, dangerous men. They thought I disappeared, and I couldn't risk putting my family in danger. So I left. I watched from afar, hiding, hoping that one day I could come back safely. Lena's hand trembles in mine. "All this time, and we thought you were gone," she whispers. Her voice cracks, but there's a strange tenderness in it, a soft blend of grief and relief. "I never stopped thinking about you girls," he says, voice thick, "every day. But I had to survive first, to come back alive." The words hang heavy in the air. I feel Lena shift closer to me, resting her head briefly against my shoulder. My arms instinctively wrap around her, holding her steady. I feel the heat of her body, the rapid pulse beneath her skin, and it grounds me in the moment. This, her trust, her vulnerability, is everything. Suddenly the door bursts open. A shadowy figure slips inside, scanning the room. My heart leaps. Danger has followed him here. "Stay behind me," I murmur to Lena, voice steady despite the pounding in my chest. His father stands up, hands raised. "It's okay, it's okay." But the tension doesn't dissipate. The man steps closer, voice low, dangerous. "You thought you could hide forever," he hisses. Time slows. Every second stretches. Lena squeezes my arm, her nails digging into my skin, and I glance down at her. Her trust is absolute, and it ignites something fierce in me, a need to protect, to shield, to stand tall in the face of fear. I step forward, placing myself between the threat and her. My voice is low, calm, but carrying weight. "You will leave now, or you won't leave at all." For a heartbeat, there's silence. Then the man smirks, stepping back reluctantly. "This isn't over," he mutters before vanishing into the shadows of the city streets. Relief crashes over us like a wave. Lena collapses against me, and I hold her tightly, inhaling the scent of her hair. "It's over," I whisper, though we both know the world can't guarantee it. "We're safe now." Her fingers trace the line of my jaw, a gentle, lingering touch. "I was so scared," she admits, voice trembling. You don't have to be," I reply, tilting her chin so I can meet her gaze. "I'll always be here. Always." The weight of unspoken words, the fear, the longing, the love finally gives way. She leans in, lips pressing against mine in a kiss that's slow, deliberate, and full of every emotion we've been holding back. It's a release, a promise, and a confession all in one. When we pull apart, there's laughter, soft, shaky, incredulous. Relief and joy mingle, and the burden of secrets starts to lift. Lena turns to her father, tears in her eyes. "We're together now, all of us, and we'll face whatever comes next. No more hiding." He nods, voice trembling. "I'm so proud of you girls, and of him," he says, glancing at me with a strange mixture of gratitude and recognition. The three of us sit together, the weight of the past 20 years slowly dissolving. Lena and I hold hands under the table, fingers intertwined, a quiet, unspoken vow binding us tighter than ever. As we step out into the evening light, the city buzzes around us, oblivious to the reunion, the revelations, and the raw, fierce love that now anchors us. Lena leans against me, resting her head on my shoulder, and I feel a deep, unshakable certainty. No matter what the future holds, no matter the shadows, the secrets, the lingering threats, we face it together. Her fingers squeeze mine. "Thank you," she murmurs. "For what?" I ask, though I already know the answer. "For trusting me, for staying, for us." I smile, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Always," I reply. "Always us." The night stretches ahead, full of quiet promises and lingering warmth. And in that moment, standing there with her father finally home, and with the storm behind us, I realize something profound. Love isn't about perfection. It's about trust, resilience, and choosing each other, even when the past threatens to pull you apart. The city hums around us, indifferent and alive, but we've found our anchor. And as Lena rests against me, I know this story, our story, has finally found its peace.